Hi, it's Tim Hagen from Progress Coaching, and welcome to another episode for the Coaching Conversations podcast. Now, we are on Stitcher, we are on iTunes, and multiple different channels. Please check us out. Now, one of the things that you'll get out of our podcast episodes is a lot of content, a lot of strategy. It's not fluff, it's not concept, yet we really want you to engage with the content and let us know your feedback. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out to us. If there's topics you'd love to have us address, we would love to share them with you. Let us know your impact and let us know your feedback.
I think one of the greatest things that we can do, especially during this huge AI revolution I think we're all living right now, and that is to really develop self-awareness. Someone was recently asking me at a conference, what do you think is going to be the key? And I said, I think really go back to the basics of self-awareness. I think when I look at people, their willingness to learn, their attitudes, and I still see the statistics going down in terms of engagement in the workplace. And I love the work done by the Gallup organization. Why are things still decreasing? And I still think it goes to the forefront of self-awareness. So if you think about AI and somebody having AI replace human-based coaching, do I think there's value there? Yes, I do. But I also think we have to be conscientious. If you have someone with a negative attitude, someone not being a great teammate, someone who's lacking emotional intelligence, are they going to arbitrarily go to their boss and say, could I have an AI agent to work on this? If they lack self-awareness in those areas, and then if it's thrust upon them and there's no human-based interaction, how do we really know of their true commitment to improvement? That's where we're going to have some really unique decisions to make. When do we use AI? When do we use human-based coaching? All of those things will conjure up a really, really tough challenge for leaders, because when do we use AI and when do we use human-based coaching? I contend we're going to see an upheaval, an increase in human-based coaching. Let me explain why. I think one of the best things that we can do more than anything for human-based coaching is to really realize its value in terms of having leaders really understand what people want to do, where their self-awareness is at, where they want to improve, how they want to get to the next level. All of those things will come into play. And the challenge that we have more than anything is really positioning people to be successful. But if they're not going to be self-aware, if they're not going to be committed to the process of improving, then what we're really doing to a certain extent is we're wasting time. Now, the collaboration between AI and human-based coaching can be very, very powerful. We happen to have coachability courses that has a built-in AI agent that talks directly to the person as it relates to the content if they have questions. Number two, we train managers on how to coach their employees, and we use a proven framework to do so. So this is going to be a very interesting time for us to balance out, when do we use AI, when do we use human-based coaching? Now, there's something else I want to introduce, and that is called asynchronous coaching. We have a methodology called cadence coaching, where we use a platform to exchange, if you will, audio, video messages, and people have to share their best practices on a weekly basis. So every week I might put in a lesson and maybe a coaching challenge to our leaders, something to the effect of, next week, call 3 people into the office for the positive things and share the positive result. And then everybody in the group sees it if they're in a cohort. And we call it a digital cohort, but the methodology is a combination of human-based and asynchronous coaching. Coaching is changing rapidly, but I go back to the 2 fundamentals of coaching and how we define it. Number 1, it's getting someone to look in the mirror. That is at the heart of self-awareness. Number 2, it's getting people to take action on number 1. And that goes to their willingness. And what is their willingness? And where do they literally sit in that spectrum in terms of their willingness and their want to improve? Recently I was talking to someone who was telling me about, I hate this AI thing. I hate this AI thing. And then all of a sudden, about 6 months later, after some coaching and nurturing, she got into ChatGPT. She's using Claude. and her position got eliminated. But because of that work, they said, we have another position for you. So here's the cool thing that's happening is that people have to change. They have to navigate. They have to adjust. They have to flex. And if they don't, guess what? They're going to be on the outside looking in. And we don't have a lot of time to fight this stuff right now because it's coming so fast, and it's going to provide organizations, really, quite frankly, a competitive position in the marketplace. What are your thoughts?
Thank you for listening to another episode of Coaching Conversations by Tim Hagen and Progress Coaching. Now, our company is always coming out with new and innovative solutions to help leaders coach their employees. And recently, we just created a new service called Coach to You, where leaders can pick and choose topics and assign 7 to 21 day programs for employees to learn and, more importantly, apply actions and then reflect and share what they're going to do going forward as a result of the learning. It's called Coach to You. We're literally bringing coaching to your employees. If you're intrigued, we'll have a link in each one of our episodes where you can get more information. And again, thank you so much for listening to another episode.